8 ways to read people. Who is sincere? Who is hypocrite? Understanding human nature. The art of reading people. Human interaction is a complex and fascinating aspect of life. Every day, we encounter individuals with different personalities, motivations, and intentions. Some people are genuinely sincere, while others may present a facade to hide their true nature. The ability to read people effectively can be a valuable skill, helping us navigate relationships, professional settings, and social interactions with greater confidence and awareness. The study of human behavior has long intrigued psychologists, sociologists, and even everyday observers who seek to understand what lies beneath a person's words and actions. While people often express themselves through speech, their true emotions and intentions can sometimes be revealed through subtle cues, body language, tone of voice, facial expressions, and even micro-expressions that last only a fraction of a second. These small but telling signals can provide insight into whether someone is being sincere or deceptive. In a world where trust is essential but not always easy to establish, developing the ability to discern sincerity from hypocrisy can protect us from manipulation, misunderstandings, and false relationships. It can also help us foster meaningful connections with people who are genuinely trustworthy and well-intentioned. Whether in personal relationships, business negotiations, or casual conversations, being able to read between the lines allows us to make more informed decisions about who we choose to trust and how we respond to different social dynamics. However, reading people is not about making snap judgments or assuming the worst in others. It is about developing a keen sense of observation and emotional intelligence. A single action or behavior does not necessarily define a person's character. Instead, patterns of behavior over time provide a clearer picture. Learning to interpret these patterns requires patience, practice, and an open mind. It is also important to consider cultural differences, personal experiences, and situational contexts when assessing someone's sincerity. Moreover, self-awareness plays a crucial role in reading others. Sometimes, our own biases, past experiences, and emotions can cloud our judgment. By refining our ability to observe objectively and empathetically, we can improve our understanding of human nature while ensuring that we approach people with fairness and clarity. The journey of learning to read people is not about becoming overly suspicious or cynical. It is about cultivating deeper awareness, improving communication, and making wiser choices in our interactions. By developing this skill, we empower ourselves to build stronger relationships, protect our well-being, and engage with the world in a more insightful and confident manner. This topic explores practical ways to enhance our ability to read people, recognize sincerity, and identify potential deception. Through observation, awareness, and understanding, we can navigate social interactions more effectively and foster connections based on trust and authenticity. Welcome to Let Think Deep channel, where profound ideas are sparked and explored. Have you ever wondered why the world around you is the way it is? Today, we'll unravel secrets, discover new perspectives, and take you on an exciting intellectual journey. Don't miss a single moment, because every video on Think Deep is an opportunity to broaden your mind and challenge familiar thoughts. Hit like and subscribe so you never miss out. Let's get started right now. 1. When they reach the peak of success. The humble, sincere person versus the arrogant hypocrite. Success, in all its forms, can change a person, whether it's achieving professional milestones, financial independence, personal growth, or any form of accomplishment. Success often brings a new level of influence and recognition. However, success doesn't just reveal the extent of one's capabilities, it also exposes a person's true character. In particular, the way people behave when they reach the peak of success can serve as a powerful indicator of who they truly are. Some will remain humble and grounded, while others may let success inflate their ego, becoming arrogant and self-centered. There is a distinct difference between how sincere people and hypocrites handle their achievements. And understanding this difference can help you navigate relationships and identify those who genuinely care versus those who merely seek personal gain. The sincere person, staying humble and grateful. A sincere person's behavior when they reach the peak of success is marked by humility, gratitude, and a desire to give back. They don't let their accomplishments define them or diminish the importance of the people who supported them along the way. Instead, They maintain a balanced perspective, valuing relationships and always remembering those who helped them on their journey. Humility in success. One of the clearest signs of a sincere person is their humility. While they may celebrate their success, they do so with grace and modesty, never making their achievements the center of attention. They understand that success is often a product of hard work, luck, and the support of others, and they never let their accomplishments make them feel superior to those around them. A sincere person remains grounded, aware that success is not just about what you achieve, but also about how you treat others along the way. Sincere people are typically not motivated by the need for external validation. They do not boast about their accomplishments or seek constant recognition. Instead, they quietly enjoy the fruits of their labor while maintaining a sense of perspective about what truly matters. They understand that their value as a person is not determined by their success, but by their character and their relationships. Gratitude and recognition of others. A sincere person knows that they didn't reach the peak of success alone. They are quick to recognize the contributions of those who helped them along the way, whether it be mentors, friends, family, or colleagues. For a sincere person, success is not just a reflection of their individual hard work but also the collective effort of those who supported them. They will often publicly acknowledge the people who have helped them reach their goals. Whether it's through heartfelt thank you speeches, social media posts, or private expressions of gratitude, they understand that success is not a solitary journey, and they value the connections that help them grow. In doing so, they build deeper, more meaningful relationships with others, creating a sense of community and mutual support. Desire to lift others up. A sincere person's success is not only about them, it's about bringing others along with them. When they reach the peak of success, they use their position to help others achieve their own goals. They may mentor those who are just starting out, offer opportunities to others who are striving for success, or share their knowledge and experiences to inspire growth in others. Rather than keeping their success to themselves, they actively seek to lift others up. They understand that true success is about creating a ripple effect, helping those around them achieve their own success and paying forward the support they received on their journey. A sincere person finds joy in watching others thrive and will actively support and encourage the growth of those they care about. Approachable and down to earth. Despite their success, a sincere person remains approachable and relatable. They do not put themselves on a pedestal, nor do they see themselves as above others. Their confidence is quiet, rooted in self-assurance and a strong sense of self-worth, not arrogance. People feel comfortable around them, and they are often seen as warm, welcoming, and generous with their time and attention. They may use their success to make a difference in the world, whether through charitable work, community involvement, or by simply being a positive influence in the lives of those around them. Rather than distancing themselves from others, they use their position to connect with people on a deeper level and make a meaningful impact. The hypocrite person. Arrogance and belittling others. On the opposite end of the spectrum, a hypocrite is someone who, when they reach the peak of success, allows it to fuel their arrogance and sense of superiority. A hypocrite sees their success as a reflection of their inherent greatness, and they often belittle others in the process. Unlike the sincere person, who remains humble and grateful, the hypocrite becomes consumed by their success, distancing themselves from those they deem less successful or inferior. Arrogance and self-importance. A hypocrite's response to success is often marked by arrogance. When they reach the top, they begin to view themselves as superior to others. They may start to talk down to people, boast about their achievements, and present themselves as someone who has made it. Their self-worth becomes tied to their success, and they begin to believe that they are more deserving, more capable, or simply better than others who have not yet reached the same level of success. The hypocrite may become dismissive of others' struggles, seeing them as signs of weakness or failure. Instead of offering encouragement or empathy, they may criticize or belittle those who are still striving for success, often using their own accomplishments as a measure of superiority. Belittling and disrespecting others. A hypocrite often uses their success as a tool to diminish others. They may engage in passive-aggressive behavior, sarcastic remarks, or outright insults to undermine the achievements of those who are not as successful. This behavior stems from a need to constantly reinforce their own sense of superiority. Instead of lifting others up, A hypocrite takes pleasure in making others feel small or insignificant, often by highlighting their own achievements in an exaggerated or boastful manner. This belittling attitude can be especially damaging in relationships. Whether in the workplace, personal relationships, or friendships, the hypocrite may make others feel inferior or unworthy, as if their success is somehow indicative of the shortcomings of others. This behavior stems from a deep insecurity that success cannot satisfy. So the hypocrite compensates by devaluing others to boost their own sense of importance. Bragging and self-centeredness. Rather than sharing their success with others or using it as an opportunity to give back, a hypocrite often brags incessantly about their achievements. They will frequently mention their success in conversations, sometimes to the point of it becoming uncomfortable for others. They often center themselves in every discussion, using their success as a form of validation and a way to garner admiration from others. A hypocrite may also use their success as a way to manipulate or control others. By constantly reminding others of their accomplishments, they may try to elevate their own status and diminish the significance of others' contributions. This bragging behavior reflects a deep need for recognition and admiration, revealing that the hypocrite values success not for the sake of achievement but for the personal accolades it brings. Exclusivity and isolation. Once they've reached the peak of success, a hypocrite may begin to isolate themselves from those they perceive as lesser. They may surround themselves with people who validate their achievements or mirror their success, creating an exclusive group that reinforces their sense of superiority. The hypocrite may distance themselves from old friends, colleagues, or family members who were once part of their journey, believing that those people no longer have anything of value to offer them. This exclusivity can lead to a breakdown of relationships. The hypocrite's success becomes the barrier that separates them from those they once cared about. Instead of valuing the connections they made on their way to success, they now see these relationships as burdens or liabilities. How to spot them? A sincere person versus a hypocrite. So, how can you tell the difference between a sincere person and a hypocrite when they reach the peak of success? The key lies in their actions and attitudes. A sincere person will lift you up. When a sincere person reaches success, they will want to bring you along with them. They will encourage and inspire you, offering support and guidance to help you achieve your own goals. They don't see their success as something to hoard but as an opportunity to empower others. A sincere person will share their resources, knowledge, and experiences with you, eager to see you succeed. Whether it's providing mentorship, opening doors, or simply offering emotional support, the sincere person recognizes that success is sweeter when shared. They believe in the power of community and will use their success to help others rise. A hypocrite will only brag and keep success to themselves. A hypocrite, on the other hand, will focus on themselves. They will brag incessantly about their accomplishments, making sure everyone knows just how successful they've become. They may not offer help to others or even acknowledge the efforts of those who helped them along the way. Instead of lifting others up, they will keep their success to themselves, using it as a means to reinforce their own superiority. The hypocrite's success is a tool for validation, and they will use it to create distance between themselves and others. They will surround themselves with people who admire them and disregard those who they no longer see as beneficial to their image. Conclusion. True success is about character. Reaching the peak of success is an experience that can reveal the true character of a person. While some will remain humble, grateful, and eager to share their success with others, others may become arrogant, self-centered, and dismissive of those around them. The difference between the sincere person and the hypocrite lies in their approach to success. The sincere person sees success as an opportunity to lift others up and create a positive impact, while the hypocrite views it as a means to enhance their own sense of superiority. When you witness someone's success, pay attention not only to what they have achieved but also to how they treat others along the way. The sincere person will always remain grounded and value the relationships that helped them reach the top, while the hypocrite will use their success to inflate their ego and separate themselves from those who helped them get there. 2. When facing failure. The sincere person versus the hypocrite. Failure is an inevitable part of life. Whether in personal endeavors, professional projects, or relationships, everyone will encounter moments of failure. It is during these times, when things don't go as planned, that the true nature of people around us is revealed. While some individuals rise to the occasion and offer support, others may retreat or even shift blame onto others. In particular, the way a person handles failure can be a telling sign of their sincerity or hypocrisy. A sincere person will take responsibility, openly admit their mistakes, and work toward a solution, while a hypocrite will avoid accountability, deflect blame, and distance themselves from the situation. Recognizing these differences can help you navigate difficult situations and identify those who are truly supportive from those who are only there when things are going well. The sincere person, open to admitting mistakes and seeking solutions together. A sincere person is someone who is emotionally mature, accountable, and focused on finding constructive solutions when failure strikes. They approach failure with a level of introspection, acknowledging their mistakes without fear of judgment or retribution. Rather than running from their failures, they face them head-on and seek to understand what went wrong, how it can be corrected, and what lessons can be learned moving forward. Taking responsibility and admitting mistakes. The hallmark of a sincere person is their ability to take full responsibility for their actions. Even when things don't go as planned, a sincere person is not afraid to admit when they are wrong. They understand that failure is a natural part of the learning process and that mistakes are not something to be hidden or blamed on external factors. When things go wrong, the sincere person reflects on their role in the failure and openly acknowledges their mistakes. They do not engage in denial or make excuses. Instead, they take ownership of their actions and are willing to learn from the experience. For them, failure is an opportunity for growth, not something to be swept under the rug or ignored. For example, in a professional setting, if a project fails due to a decision they made, the sincere person will own up to the misstep. They will admit their errors to their team, offering explanations when needed, and work collaboratively to understand how they could have made a better decision. They do not shirk responsibility or try to shift blame onto others. Working together to find solutions. A sincere person understands that failure is not an endpoint but a chance to reassess and find better solutions. Rather than dwelling on what went wrong, they focus on how to move forward and improve. This forward-thinking attitude is a key characteristic of sincerity, while the hypocrite may be concerned with protecting their own reputation. The sincere person is more concerned with fixing the problem at hand and finding a way to rectify the situation. When facing failure, the sincere person will often take a collaborative approach. They are open to working with others to find solutions and will often seek out advice, feedback, and input from those around them. They see failure as a shared experience, and they are committed to resolving it as a team. For instance, in a situation where a business venture fails, the sincere person will look at how they can work with their partners, employees, or stakeholders to learn from the failure and find ways to improve the business moving forward. Rather than distancing themselves, they will bring everyone together and focus on collective problem solving. Supportive and empathetic in difficult times. When facing failure, a sincere person does not only focus on their own actions but also demonstrates a deep empathy for others involved. They are supportive of those who might be affected by the failure, showing that they are there for them through challenging times. This can be seen in both personal and professional contexts, where the sincere person takes the time to listen, understand, and offer emotional support to those around them. In a relationship or friendship, a sincere person will offer comfort and understanding when things go wrong. Without casting blame or judgment, they may even take extra steps to make sure that everyone feels heard and valued. Acknowledging the feelings of disappointment or frustration that others might be experiencing. In professional environments, this empathy is also crucial. A sincere leader or colleague will ensure that their team feels supported after a setback. They will reassure everyone that failure is a part of growth, that they are in it together, and that they will learn and recover from the experience as a unit. Commitment to self-improvement. A sincere person does not shy away from the idea of self-improvement after failure. They are always looking for ways to better themselves, not only professionally but personally. After a failure, they engage in self-reflection, taking the time to assess what they can do better next time. This growth mindset is a sign of sincerity. It shows that the person is not stagnant, but constantly working toward improvement. No matter how hard the road may seem, a sincere person may read books, attend workshops, or seek feedback to improve themselves after a failure. They recognize that failure is not a permanent condition. but rather an opportunity to reassess and do better in the future. The hypocrite person, avoiding responsibility and shifting blame. In stark contrast to the sincere person, a hypocrite tends to react to failure with denial, avoidance, and a tendency to shift blame. When faced with failure, they are often unwilling to take responsibility for their actions, instead focusing on protecting their image or deflecting the consequences onto others. This behavior stems from a lack of accountability and a tendency to prioritize their reputation over genuine growth. Avoiding responsibility and making excuses. A hypocrite rarely admits to their mistakes. Instead of owning up to their role in a failure, they may deflect responsibility, deny their involvement, or make excuses. They may blame external factors such as bad luck, other people's incompetence, or uncontrollable circumstances. This avoidance of responsibility is a clear sign of a hypocrite's inability to face their own shortcomings and learn from them. For example, in a workplace setting, if a project fails under a hypocrite's management, they may point fingers at their team or external conditions, avoiding any accountability for their decisions. They might claim that the market conditions were unpredictable, that the team didn't follow instructions properly, or that unforeseen problems led to the failure. In doing so, they refuse to acknowledge their own role in the outcome, hindering any potential for growth or improvement. Blaming others and deflecting accountability. The hypocrite is quick to point the finger when things go wrong. Instead of taking ownership of their mistakes, they will look for others to blame. Whether it's colleagues, subordinates, or even family members, they often shift the blame to others to avoid being held accountable. This behavior can lead to conflict and resentment, as the hypocrite's refusal to acknowledge their part in the failure makes it difficult to resolve the situation effectively. In relationships, a hypocrite may avoid accepting responsibility for their mistakes by blaming their partner for misunderstandings, conflicts, or any other failure in the relationship, instead of reflecting on how they could have communicated better or handled the situation more thoughtfully. They choose to point out the flaws in others, avoiding the problem and running from difficult situations rather than working to find a solution. The hypocrite may avoid facing the problem altogether. They may become distant, disengaged, or simply refuse to participate in resolving the issue. This is often due to their fear of being exposed or having to deal with the consequences of their actions. Their avoidance of the problem can prevent any real progress from being made, leaving others to pick up the pieces. For instance, in a business failure, a hypocrite may choose to leave the office early or avoid meetings with stakeholders, preferring to avoid the uncomfortable conversations about what went wrong. Their lack of involvement in finding a solution shows a complete disregard for the situation and the people affected by it. Withdrawing support and cutting ties. When a hypocrite fails, they may also withdraw their emotional support from others, especially if the failure affects them personally. Instead of being empathetic or supportive, they may distance themselves from those involved in the failure, creating an atmosphere of isolation. They may even use the failure as an excuse to cut ties or disengage from relationships that are no longer beneficial to them. In personal relationships, the hypocrite may stop being emotionally available or withdraw from the people who need their support the most. They might choose to cut off people who were previously part of their inner circle, citing that they no longer have time for them or that the relationship is too complicated. This behavior is a defense mechanism designed to protect their ego but leaves others feeling unsupported and abandoned. How to spot them? The one who stands by you in difficult times. In times of failure, the true character of a person is revealed. The sincere person will stand by you, offering support, understanding, and a willingness to work together to find a solution. They will share the burden of the failure and help you pick up the pieces. A sincere person is invested in the relationship and will not abandon you when times are tough. On the other hand, the hypocrite will only stand by you if things are going well. When failure strikes, they will either avoid responsibility, shift the blame, or distance themselves from the situation entirely. The hypocrite's focus is on protecting their own image and avoiding discomfort, rather than working through the challenge alongside you. The key to identifying who you can truly rely on is to pay attention to how they behave during difficult times. The person who stands with you, offers solutions, and takes responsibility for their role in the failure is the one who is genuinely committed to the relationship. In contrast, the person who shifts blame, withdraws, or avoids the situation is the one who cannot be counted on when things go wrong. Conclusion: the importance of accountability and support in the face of failure. Failure is a part of life, but how we respond to it defines our character and shapes our relationships. The sincere person approaches failure with accountability, empathy, and a willingness to work toward solutions. They recognize that failure is not the end, but a stepping stone toward growth and improvement. The hypocrite, on the other hand, avoids responsibility, shifts blame, and disengages from the problem, often leaving others to face the consequences alone. In difficult times, it is crucial to identify those who will stand by you and offer genuine support. The sincere person will be there, offering their help, empathy, and commitment to moving forward together. The hypocrite, however, will reveal their true colors by distancing themselves and refusing to take any responsibility for their actions. Understanding how people respond to failure can help you navigate your relationships and determine who you can truly rely on in times of hardship. The ones who stand by you, work through the challenges, and help you find solutions are the ones who are worthy of your trust and loyalty. 3. When they are angry, the sincere person versus the hypocrite. Anger is a powerful and universal emotion, experienced by everyone at one point or another. How people express and manage their anger can say a lot about their true nature. When someone is angry, it is easy for their emotions to override their better judgment, leading them to act in ways that can reveal their deepest feelings. In these moments of heightened emotion, the contrast between a sincere person and a hypocrite becomes starkly apparent. While a sincere person controls their emotions, even in anger, and maintains respect for others, a hypocrite may lash out, revealing hidden resentments and offering a glimpse into their true feelings. By understanding how people react when they are angry, we can better evaluate their character and recognize the difference between someone who genuinely cares and someone who only pretends to do so. The sincere person: control, respect, and emotional intelligence. A sincere person is someone who has a strong sense of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Even when they are angry, they are able to control their emotions and avoid lashing out. They understand that anger is a natural emotion, but they also know that expressing it in harmful ways can damage relationships and cause unnecessary conflict. The sincere person takes a step back, collects their thoughts, and ensures that their anger does not lead them to disrespect or hurt others. Maintaining self-control in the face of anger. When a sincere person becomes angry, they recognize the importance of self-control. Instead of letting their emotions control them, they take responsibility for how they express their anger. They may feel upset or frustrated, but they are conscious of how their words and actions might affect others. Rather than reacting impulsively, they pause to consider their response and make an effort to remain calm. This self-discipline is a sign of emotional maturity and integrity, as it reflects a commitment to handling difficult situations in a respectful and constructive manner. For example, in a professional setting, if a sincere person is faced with a frustrating situation, such as an unfair criticism from a colleague, they might feel angry. However, they will resist the urge to snap back or raise their voice. Instead, they may take a deep breath, ask for clarification, and calmly express their concerns. They might even wait until they are more composed before addressing the issue further, ensuring that their response is thoughtful rather than reactive. Respecting boundaries and never disrespecting others. One of the key traits of a sincere person is their ability to maintain respect. Even in moments of anger, they understand that anger, when expressed destructively, can break down trust and harm relationships. Therefore, they make a conscious effort not to disrespect others. Regardless of the situation, they refrain from insulting, belittling, or attacking others when they are upset, because they value the relationship and do not want to jeopardize it by saying things that might be regretted later. In a personal relationship, for instance, if a sincere person becomes angry due to a disagreement, they will focus on discussing the issue at hand without resorting to personal attacks. They might say something like, "I'm really upset right now, but I want to talk through this calmly so we can understand each other better." This level of self-awareness and respect shows that the sincere person is committed to resolving conflicts in a healthy way, rather than allowing their emotions to escalate into harmful behavior. Taking responsibility for their emotions. A sincere person does not blame others for their feelings of anger. Instead, they take ownership of their emotions and understand that it is their responsibility to manage them. They are aware that no one can make them angry. And they know that it is how they choose to react to a situation that determines the outcome. By taking responsibility for their emotions, the sincere person is better able to maintain control and avoid acting in ways that they might later regret. For example, if a sincere person feels disrespected by a comment or action, they will first examine why the situation triggered such a reaction. Instead of blaming the other person entirely for their anger, they may reflect on whether their expectations were unrealistic or if there is something deeper contributing to their emotional response. This introspective approach allows them to gain clarity and respond more thoughtfully, rather than allowing their anger to drive them to an unproductive or damaging reaction. Seeking constructive solutions. When a sincere person is angry, they are focused on resolving the issue at hand. They do not want to remain in a state of conflict or frustration. Rather than allowing anger to fester or escalate, they actively seek a solution to the problem. A sincere person is committed to addressing the root cause of their anger and finding a way to move forward, either by discussing the issue with the other person involved or by taking steps to address their own feelings. For instance, in a work situation where a sincere person feels their efforts have been overlooked, they may feel frustrated. However, instead of letting their anger build up or holding a grudge, they will seek to have an open conversation with their supervisor or colleagues to express how they feel and to understand the situation better. Their goal is not to dwell on the anger but to resolve the conflict and restore harmony. The hypocrite person. Anger reveals hidden resentments and hostility. In contrast, the hypocrite often reacts to anger in a destructive and emotionally charged way. Unlike the sincere person, who is able to maintain control and respect, the hypocrite may let their emotions spiral out of control, using anger as a means to manipulate, hurt, or punish others. In these moments, their true nature often emerges, as anger exposes their underlying resentments and lack of emotional intelligence. The hypocrite may lash out with harsh words, escalate conflicts, or reveal feelings of bitterness that they have been hiding beneath the surface. Lashing out with harsh words. When a hypocrite becomes angry, they often have little regard for the impact of their words. They may lash out, using harsh language or personal insults to hurt others and vent their frustration. Their anger is not just an emotional outburst, it is an intentional attempt to wound the other person. This behavior reveals a lack of respect and empathy for others, as the hypocrite is more focused on releasing their own pent-up emotions than on resolving the issue or considering the feelings of those around them. For example, if a hypocrite is angry with a friend or partner, they might resort to calling them names, belittling them, or accusing them of things they may not have done. These verbal attacks are not meant to solve the problem but rather to assert control or superiority, often leaving the other person feeling hurt and invalidated. The hypocrite's use of anger as a weapon shows their inability to regulate their emotions in a healthy and constructive manner. Revealing hidden resentments. Anger can be a revealing emotion, as it often brings to the surface feelings that have been buried for some time. For the hypocrite, moments of anger can expose long-held resentments or grudges that they have been harboring. They may use a situation of anger as an opportunity to express frustrations or grievances that they have been keeping hidden. These outbursts often shed light on the true nature of their feelings, which may have been masked by politeness or superficial friendliness until now. For example, if a hypocrite is angered by a situation involving a colleague, they might not only focus on the issue at hand but also bring up past disagreements or perceived slights. These comments can be an indication that the hypocrite has been quietly nursing feelings of resentment, which now surface in a moment of anger. This reveals that their outward behavior, such as pretending to be friendly or supportive, was not genuine. Underneath it all, they may have been harboring negative feelings all along, shifting blame and avoiding responsibility. Rather than taking responsibility for their anger or the situation, the hypocrite may deflect blame onto others. They may accuse others of provoking their anger or claim that the other person is entirely responsible for the conflict. This refusal to accept personal responsibility for their emotions is a sign of immaturity and an unwillingness to grow or improve. Instead of looking inward to examine their own role in the conflict, the hypocrite focuses on blaming others in an effort to avoid accountability. For example, If a hypocrite is upset because they feel someone has disrespected them, they might immediately shift the blame to that person, saying things like, "You always do this," or "This is just like you." Instead of acknowledging their own emotional reaction, they point fingers at others, further escalating the conflict and making it harder to resolve, revealing manipulative tendencies. In some cases, the hypocrite may use anger as a tool for manipulation. They may escalate a situation intentionally in order to get what they want or to assert power over the other person. Anger, in this case, becomes a means of controlling the conversation, intimidating others, or forcing a resolution on their own terms. The hypocrite may use aggressive language or hostile behavior to coerce others into conceding to their demands, demonstrating their lack of respect for healthy communication and mutual understanding. For example, a hypocrite in a relationship may use anger to manipulate their partner into apologizing or backing down. Even if they are not entirely at fault, their anger becomes a form of emotional blackmail, making it difficult for the other person to stand their ground without feeling guilty or pressured. Remember, what someone says in anger is often what they truly think about you. One of the key takeaways when observing how people behave in moments of anger is that anger can be a window into their true feelings. While the sincere person may control their emotions and maintain respect, the hypocrite's anger often reveals what they have been hiding all along. Harsh words, insults, and resentment are not just reactions to the moment but reflections of the hypocrite's deeper thoughts and attitudes toward the person they are angry with. It is important to remember that what someone says in anger is often not just a temporary outburst. It can be an honest expression of their true thoughts and feelings. Even if those feelings are difficult to face, the sincere person, on the other hand, may feel angry but chooses to express it in a way that respects the relationship and seeks resolution. Their ability to manage their emotions and treat others with dignity, even in the heat of the moment, shows a level of maturity and respect that is often missing in the hypocrite's behavior. Conclusion: recognizing the true nature of people when they are angry. Anger is an emotion that reveals a lot about a person's character. While a sincere person can manage their anger with self-control, respect, and emotional intelligence, a hypocrite may use anger as a tool for manipulation, revealing hidden resentments and shifting blame onto others. The way someone behaves when they are angry is a powerful indicator of their true nature. And by paying attention to how people handle conflict, we can gain valuable insight into who they really are. The sincere person will show emotional maturity and a commitment to resolving the issue without causing harm, while the hypocrite will expose their lack of respect, empathy, and accountability. In moments of anger, the true character of a person is often laid bare. What they say in anger is often what they truly think about you. 4. When they have an opportunity to gain. Opportunities for success, wealth, or personal gain can sometimes reveal the true nature of the people around us. It's easy for someone to appear kind, generous, or selfless when there's nothing on the line. However, when a significant opportunity arises, the behavior of those who are genuinely sincere will often stand in stark contrast to those who are hypocritical or self-serving. The difference between how a sincere person and a hypocrite react to the possibility of gaining something is often a clear reflection of their character. A sincere person, when presented with an opportunity to gain, will think of others and seek to share that opportunity, especially if it benefits them too. They will not hesitate to include those they care about, always considering how they can lift others up alongside themselves. On the other hand, a hypocrite will prioritize their own gain, even at the expense of others. They may even go as far as pushing others aside, taking everything for themselves, and making sure no one else benefits from the opportunity. The sincere person, generosity, consideration, and a desire to share. A sincere person is defined not just by their words but by their actions. Particularly when they are in a position to gain something significant, opportunities are seen as chances to not only advance their own goals but to help those around them achieve their own as well. This kind of person is driven by a sense of fairness, empathy, and a desire to see everyone around them succeed, sharing opportunities with others. When a sincere person comes across a great opportunity, whether it be a job offer, a business venture, or a personal breakthrough, they don't view it as something to hoard or protect solely for their benefit. Instead, they think of the people they care about and immediately consider how they can share the opportunity with others. If they believe that a friend, family member, or colleague could also benefit, they will gladly include them in the process, whether it's recommending them for a job or sharing advice that could help them grow. For example, imagine a sincere person who has just been offered a fantastic career opportunity. Rather than keeping the news to themselves and solely focusing on their advancement, they may reach out to a friend who is also looking for similar opportunities, recommending them to the same company or offering guidance to help them get there. They understand that success doesn't have to be a zero-sum game, and they want others to rise with them. This kind of behavior reflects a deep-seated belief in mutual success. The sincere person sees life's opportunities not just as moments for personal advancement but as times to build community and support the growth of others. When they rise, they lift others with them, building relationships through shared success. The sincere person understands that relationships are the foundation of long-term success. Their willingness to share opportunities is an investment in these relationships, ensuring that they are not isolated in their achievements but surrounded by people who have been brought up alongside them. They recognize that success, when shared, brings deeper connections and a greater sense of fulfillment. Consider a situation in which a sincere person finds themselves in the position to secure a promotion. Instead of quietly taking the promotion and keeping it to themselves, they might work collaboratively with their team, sharing the benefits of their success by recommending colleagues for raises or helping others develop their skills so that they, too, can succeed. By building up others, they simultaneously build their own network of supporters, and in turn, they grow together. This behavior is rooted in generosity and long-term thinking, demonstrating the sincere person's genuine care for the success of others. Trust and loyalty are core values. Sincerity in this context also translates to trust and loyalty. The sincere person understands that trust is a two-way street. By sharing opportunities, they demonstrate their commitment to others, reinforcing the idea that they are reliable, supportive, and trustworthy. They understand that by helping others grow, they also grow their own circle of support. For example, in a workplace environment, a sincere individual who is offered a lucrative contract might share the opportunity with others in the company who would benefit from it. Not only does this demonstrate their selflessness, but it also fosters loyalty among colleagues and subordinates, who will remember their generosity and be more likely to return the favor in the future. Being transparent about their gains. Sincere people also tend to be open and transparent about their own gains. They are not secretive or manipulative in how they approach opportunities. Instead, they are honest and open about what they've achieved and how they got there. They have nothing to hide and nothing to fear from others achieving the same level of success. Their transparency encourages others to take part in the opportunity, creating an environment where collaboration and mutual growth are the norm. For instance, if a sincere person has gained access to an exclusive investment opportunity, they might choose to share the information with trusted friends or colleagues, explaining how the opportunity works and how others can get involved. They do not withhold information to keep all the benefits for themselves. Instead, they see it as a chance to help others enter the same circles of success they have achieved. The hypocrite person, self-serving, manipulative, and willing to push others aside. In contrast, the hypocrite is primarily concerned with their own gain, often at the expense of others. They might appear kind or supportive in everyday interactions, but when an opportunity for success arises, their true nature is revealed. Rather than considering how others can benefit from the opportunity, the hypocrite's focus shifts entirely to securing the opportunity for themselves, regardless of who gets left behind. Taking everything for themselves. When a hypocrite sees an opportunity, their first instinct is often to take it all for themselves, without hesitation or consideration for anyone else. They may manipulate or maneuver their way into a position where they benefit exclusively, even if it means stepping on others or leaving them out of the equation. They are not interested in sharing or collaborating. They only care about how they can use the opportunity to further their own goals. For example, if a hypocrite is involved in a business venture and they gain access to a profitable deal, they might cut others out of the process by making decisions behind their backs or excluding people who initially helped them get the opportunity. Their primary goal is to maximize their own gain, often at the cost of alienating others or betraying trust. Pushing others out of the picture. A hypocrite's self-serving nature can extend to actively working to push others out of the picture to secure the opportunity for themselves. They might minimize the contributions of others or take credit for ideas and efforts that were not their own. In more extreme cases, they may go so far as to sabotage the progress of others in order to maintain their own competitive advantage. For example, imagine a hypocrite is part of a collaborative team effort and one of their colleagues is offered a career-changing opportunity. Instead of encouraging their colleague to take the chance, the hypocrite might subtly undermine the offer by planting doubts, making the opportunity seem less desirable, or suggesting that the colleague isn't qualified for it. In doing so, they ensure that the opportunity remains within their own grasp. This behavior is often driven by fear of others succeeding or outshining them. The hypocrite's insecurity pushes them to eliminate competition, even if that competition comes from people they claim to care about or respect. Using others for personal gain. In many cases, the hypocrite will use others for their own benefit. They may pretend to be supportive, only to take advantage of the relationship when a valuable opportunity arises. They may promise to help others but only if it directly benefits them in the process. This kind of manipulation often goes unnoticed until the opportunity has passed. And the hypocrite walks away with all the rewards while others are left empty-handed. For instance, a hypocrite might initially express interest in helping a friend with a business proposal but then turn the situation to their advantage. They may use the friend's ideas, connections, or resources to secure the opportunity for themselves, offering little or nothing in return. Once they have gained what they need, they may disappear, leaving the friend feeling used and abandoned. Keeping information to themselves. A hypocrite is likely to withhold valuable information, either because they don't want others to benefit or because they want to secure all the advantages for themselves. They may intentionally keep others in the dark, knowing that the opportunity would be much more difficult to seize without the right knowledge or guidance. This hoarding of information is a clear sign of their selfishness, as it ensures that they are the only ones who can access the benefits of the opportunity. For example, if a hypocrite learns of a job opening at a prestigious company, they might not share the information with others who would be equally qualified. Instead, they may keep it to themselves and apply, knowing that they will have a better chance of securing the position by excluding others from the opportunity. How to spot them? Watching behavior when opportunities arise. The true nature of both sincere and hypocritical people becomes evident when opportunities present themselves. While a sincere person will immediately think of how they can share and include others in the opportunity, the hypocrite will seek to take everything for themselves, sometimes at any cost. The way people behave when big opportunities arise reveals much about their character. To spot the difference, observe how those around you respond when an opportunity for success appears. Does the person share their good fortune with you? Or do they try to monopolize the situation? Do they consider how others can benefit? Or do they push you aside to secure their own gain? The way they handle opportunities will show you their true colors, helping you distinguish between those who genuinely care about others and those who only care about themselves. Conclusion. Recognizing the true nature of people in times of opportunity. Opportunities are powerful, and they can be revealing moments in our relationships. A sincere person sees an opportunity not just as a way to advance their own success but as a chance to uplift and support others. They share, collaborate, and help those they care about benefit from the same opportunities. A hypocrite, on the other hand, is self-serving, manipulative, and often willing to push others aside to claim all the rewards for themselves. Watching how people behave when these opportunities arise is a reliable way to discern who is genuinely supportive and who is simply pretending to be. In the end, their behavior will show you their true character. 5. When you are struggling or in crisis. Sincere versus hypocrite people. Life is full of challenges and unexpected crises. And it is during these difficult times that the true nature of the people around you is often revealed. When you're struggling, whether it's financially, emotionally, or professionally, you will discover who really cares about you and who is simply pretending to. Some people will stay by your side, offering help and support when you need it the most, while others will vanish or make excuses, showing their true selfish nature. This stark contrast is especially clear when comparing sincere individuals with hypocritical ones. In times of crisis, you will truly see who the real people are in your life. A sincere person is the one who will stand by your side. offering help, compassion, and emotional support even when there's nothing in it for them. They act out of genuine concern for your well-being and are committed to being there through thick and thin. On the other hand, a hypocrite is often the person who, in your time of need, becomes distant or absent, sometimes even making the situation worse by pushing you further down. The hypocrite's true character is often exposed when you have nothing left to offer them, revealing their selfishness and lack of genuine care. The sincere person, unwavering support in times of crisis. When you're going through a tough time, you need someone who will be there for you without expecting anything in return. The sincere person is the one who stands by your side through the darkest moments, offering not just sympathy but practical help and emotional support. They are driven by compassion and a genuine desire to help you navigate through your struggles, no matter how inconvenient or difficult it might be for them, offering help without expectation of return. One of the defining characteristics of a sincere person is their willingness to help without expecting anything in return. They don't keep track of favors or try to extract something from you later. Their motivation comes from a deep sense of empathy and love for you, not from self-interest. Whether it's helping you financially, providing emotional support, or offering practical assistance, they are there to ensure that you get through your difficult time, regardless of what they stand to gain. For instance, when you're facing financial troubles, a sincere friend might lend you money, not because they expect repayment, but because they genuinely want to ease your burden. In times of emotional crisis, they might spend hours listening to your concerns, offering comfort, and providing perspective, without any judgment or ulterior motives. Their support is constant and unwavering, driven purely by a desire to see you through the storm, standing by you when you have nothing left to offer. The sincerity of a person becomes most apparent when you have nothing left to offer in return. Often, when people are struggling, they feel like a burden, especially if they can't reciprocate the help they are receiving. It is in these moments that true friendships and relationships are either forged or exposed. A sincere person doesn't care about what you can give them in return. Their support is unconditional, and they are there for you even when you have no resources, connections, or payback to offer. Consider a situation where you are going through a personal crisis, perhaps dealing with a health issue, a family emergency, or a financial collapse. A sincere person will be there for you, not because they expect to gain something from it, but because they genuinely care about your well-being. They will check in on you, offer assistance, and be a constant presence in your life during this difficult period. They don't expect a favor in return, and they don't judge you for your circumstances. Their only concern is your recovery and well-being. Emotional and mental support. During times of crisis, emotional and mental support is just as important as physical or financial help. A sincere person will provide this emotional backing in spades. They are not just there in the background, they actively listen to you, acknowledge your pain, and help you navigate through the emotional turbulence you're facing. Whether you need someone to vent to, a shoulder to cry on, or someone to help you process the situation, a sincere friend will be the one who offers this without hesitation. They will encourage you when you feel defeated, reminding you of your strengths and potential. They will offer positive affirmations when you feel low, and provide words of wisdom to help you move forward when you're struggling to see the light at the end of the tunnel. A sincere person will be the one who helps you keep your faith and stay strong, providing long-term support, not just short-term assistance. While short-term help is important during a crisis, a sincere person is also there for the long haul. They won't just come to your aid in the immediate aftermath and then disappear when things settle down. Instead, they will stay with you throughout the process of healing and recovery. Whether it's checking in regularly to see how you're doing, helping you find solutions, or providing continued emotional support, the sincere person remains a steady presence in your life until you are back on your feet. For example, a sincere person who helps you through a rough financial period won't just lend you money once and never check in again. They will keep in touch, offering guidance or even introducing you to resources that can help you get back on your feet. Their commitment to you extends beyond the immediate crisis because they are invested in your well-being, not just in getting something out of the situation. The hypocrite person, absence, excuses, and sometimes even harm. In stark contrast, the hypocrite will be nowhere to be found when you need them most. The hypocrite often presents themselves as someone who cares, but when crisis strikes, they reveal their true nature. They may make excuses, distance themselves, or, in some cases, actively make the situation worse by abandoning you when you need them or even kicking you while you're down. This selfish behavior exposes their lack of empathy and reveals that their support was always conditional, based on what you could offer them, not on genuine care for your well-being. Making excuses or disappearing when you need help. When you are struggling, the hypocrite might suddenly become very busy or unavailable. They may make excuses for why they can't help, offering vague explanations like, "I'm going through my own issues," or "I've just got too much on my plate right now." These excuses often sound plausible, but they are just a smokescreen for their unwillingness to provide support when you need it most. They will distance themselves from your crisis, making you feel like you're facing it alone. For instance, imagine that you're dealing with a personal crisis such as the loss of a loved one, and you turn to a friend for emotional support. The hypocrite might tell you they're too busy with their own problems, even though you've been there for them countless times in the past. They might offer a few shallow words of sympathy, but they won't follow through with any meaningful action to help you. The moment you need them, they vanish, kicking you while you're down. In some extreme cases, the hypocrite may not just abandon you during your time of need but actually make your situation worse. Rather than offering support or even just a listening ear, they may criticize you, make you feel guilty for your struggles, or even take advantage of your situation. This behavior is deeply toxic and revealing. It shows that they are more interested in maintaining their own position of superiority than offering any genuine help. For example, a hypocrite may criticize you for being in a financial crisis, implying that it's your fault and that you didn't work hard enough. Instead of offering support, they might make snide remarks or gossip about your situation behind your back, reinforcing your sense of isolation and self-doubt. Their behavior is not only hurtful but also shows how little they value you as a person, withholding support and making the situation worse. A hypocrite may also choose to withhold support or even try to take advantage of your vulnerabilities. When you're struggling, they might see your situation as an opportunity to manipulate you for their benefit. For instance, a person you thought was a friend might offer to help you out of a tough spot but then ask for something in return that is completely unfair or unreasonable. Their supposed help is conditional and self-serving. This manipulation can take many forms, from offering advice that only serves to benefit them, to trying to take credit for solutions that should be yours, to using your crisis as a way to gain power or control in the relationship. The truth: a sincere person will stand by you even when you have nothing left to offer. At the end of the day, the truth is simple. A sincere person will be there for you when you have nothing left to offer. They will stand by you not because they expect something in return but because they care about you as a person. Their commitment to your well-being is unconditional, and their actions will prove that, no matter how difficult your situation may become. The hypocrite, on the other hand, will be nowhere to be found when you are at your lowest. They will make excuses, disappear, or worse, take advantage of your vulnerabilities. Their lack of true care will be exposed in your time of need. The people who genuinely care for you will always be the ones who show up when you need them most. They are the ones who stand by your side, offering their help and support, even when there is no benefit to themselves. They are the ones who will lift you up when you're down, without asking for anything in return. In times of crisis, you will learn who your true friends are. It is during these moments that the sincere person's loyalty and compassion shine, proving that their support is not just based on what you can give them, but on a genuine love for who you are as a person. 6. When they are drunk or lose control. The way a person behaves when they are intoxicated or lose control of their emotions reveals much about their true character. Alcohol, stress, or extreme situations often lower inhibitions and bring out what is hidden beneath the surface. In these moments, the difference between a sincere person and a hypocrite becomes glaringly clear. While some people maintain their respect for you and remain kind despite their intoxication, others may let their guard down and reveal negative thoughts, insults, or criticism. Understanding how people react under these circumstances can teach you valuable lessons about who they really are and whether they are worth keeping around. Sincere person. Respectful. Even when intoxicated, a sincere person is someone whose respect for others is constant, even when they lose some control over their behavior due to intoxication or stress. While many people may act out of character when they drink or become overly emotional, The sincere individual remains grounded in their values, treating you with the same care, kindness, and respect they would when sober. Their respect doesn't falter based on their state of mind or emotions. They maintain their integrity even when they're not in full control of themselves. Consistency in behavior. One of the most distinguishing traits of a sincere person is their consistency. They are not two-faced, pretending to be kind or respectful when things are going well and then turning aggressive or disrespectful when their emotions or alcohol take over. When a sincere person is drunk, they may become more open or talkative, but their underlying respect for you does not change. They are still aware of the boundaries in your relationship, and they act in a way that is mindful of your feelings. For example, when someone who is sincere gets intoxicated, they may start talking more freely, but they won't cross any lines. They won't insult you, belittle you, or say things they don't mean. Instead, they might become more affectionate, perhaps expressing gratitude for your friendship or support. Their intoxication may loosen their tongue, but it will not twist their respect for you into something harmful or hurtful. The sincere person understands the importance of boundaries, even when their inhibitions are lowered, and they respect you as much, if not more, than they did before. Empathy and kindness. Sincerity is rooted in empathy, the ability to understand and care about how others feel. This empathy remains intact even when a person is drunk. A sincere individual will not disregard the impact their words and actions may have on you, even when they're under the influence of alcohol or emotions. If they do say something out of character, they will immediately try to apologize or make amends because they recognize that their behavior was not aligned with their true feelings. In a social setting, if someone becomes drunk and starts to act a little too emotionally, the sincere person may be the one to check in with you, making sure that you're comfortable and not offended. They will also keep their behavior in check, ensuring that they don't cross boundaries that would make you feel disrespected or uncomfortable. Their primary concern will be ensuring that their actions are still aligned with their genuine care for you. Self-awareness and responsibility. Even in moments of vulnerability, a sincere person remains self-aware. They recognize their limits and know when they may be crossing a line. If they start to feel overly intoxicated, they might even remove themselves from the situation to avoid doing or saying something that could harm others. The sincere person values your relationship enough to know when to take a step back and prevent their intoxication from affecting you negatively. For example, if they start to drink too much at a party or social event, they might choose to stop drinking, take a break, or even leave if they feel that their judgment is becoming impaired. They are responsible enough to ensure that their actions do not hurt others, even when their emotions or the effects of alcohol are influencing their behavior. This kind of self-awareness and responsibility is a hallmark of a sincere person, one who consistently acts with respect and consideration for those around them. Hypocrite person. Letting their true thoughts surface. On the flip side, the hypocrite will often use their loss of control, whether due to alcohol or emotions, as an excuse to let their true thoughts, often negative or hurtful, come to the surface. These individuals may have been pretending to be kind, respectful, or friendly, but when they drink or lose control, their true character is exposed. The hypocrisy becomes evident when their previously restrained anger, frustration, or resentment turns into insults, belittling comments, or passive-aggressive behavior, revealing hidden resentments. One of the clearest signs of a hypocrite is their ability to hide their true feelings behind a mask of politeness or even fake kindness, only for that mask to slip when they are no longer able to control their emotions. Under the influence of alcohol or in moments of emotional upheaval, they may become more outspoken and express negative thoughts or criticisms that they had been holding back. These comments often reflect hidden resentment or jealousy that had been simmering beneath the surface. For example, a hypocrite might have previously acted friendly toward you, even offering compliments and pretending to be supportive, only for their true feelings to come out when they are drunk. They might start making jabs at your appearance, intelligence, or choices, or they may bring up past grievances, some of which may have been long forgotten or previously brushed under the rug. Their words may sting, and their true character becomes glaringly clear when they are no longer able to hide behind their superficial kindness. Disrespectful and insulting behavior. While the sincere person remains respectful even when intoxicated, the hypocrite may act in ways that are outright disrespectful or insulting. Their loss of inhibition can result in harmful comments, hurtful jokes, or even outright verbal abuse. They may use alcohol or emotional instability as a justification for their rude or hurtful behavior. But their actions are actually a reflection of their true character, a person who does not truly value or respect you. For instance, someone who pretends to be your friend may get drunk and begin to criticize your personal life, your choices, or your appearance. They may say things that are intended to bring you down, trying to make you feel small or inferior. They may even twist the situation to make themselves appear superior, using alcohol as an excuse to undermine you, exposing selfishness and malice. When a hypocrite loses control, they often let go of their facade of kindness, revealing their selfishness, malice, and lack of empathy for others. Where the sincere person will still care for your feelings, the hypocrite will often act in their own self-interest, taking advantage of the situation for their own gain. They might take your vulnerability and use it against you, either for amusement or to position themselves as the dominant figure in the relationship. For example, a hypocrite may use your intoxication or emotional state as an opportunity to manipulate you. If you're vulnerable or not in full control of your faculties, they may take advantage of the situation, saying things they know will hurt you or make you feel bad about yourself. They might bring up your mistakes or past failures, knowing that you are not in the best position to defend yourself. Their behavior reveals their true colors as someone who is willing to exploit your weaknesses for their own benefit. Lesson: if they are still kind when drunk, they are truly worth keeping around. So, what can we learn from how people behave when they lose control? Whether due to alcohol or emotional strain, the lesson is clear. If a person is still kind and respectful, even when intoxicated or emotionally out of control, they are truly worth keeping around. Sincere individuals have the ability to maintain their integrity and respect for others even in their weakest moments. They don't let their emotions or their intoxication override their core values. They treat you with kindness and understanding, demonstrating that their feelings for you are genuine, not just dependent on the circumstances. On the other hand, if someone reveals their true thoughts as insults or disrespect when they are drunk, that is a clear sign that their previous kindness was superficial. The hypocrite uses intoxication or emotional instability as a mask to reveal their true, often unkind and self-serving nature. They may pretend to care or act friendly when sober, but when they lose control, their true feelings come out in the form of hurtful comments and disrespect. Ultimately, the way someone behaves when they are drunk or lose control is a powerful indicator of their true character. While a sincere person will remain respectful and kind, a hypocrite will reveal their resentment, malice, and selfishness. By paying attention to these moments, you can better understand who is truly worth keeping in your life and who is not. Remember, the people who show you genuine kindness and respect, even when they are at their most vulnerable, are the ones who will stand by you through thick and thin. And they are the ones who truly deserve your trust and loyalty. 7. When there's a dispute over money. Money has a way of bringing out the best and the worst in people. In any relationship, financial disagreements are bound to occur. Whether it's between family members, friends, business partners, or romantic relationships, when money is on the table, emotions can run high, and people's true nature often emerges. The way a person reacts in such situations can reveal much about their character. Specifically, there are two distinct types of people who can emerge during a financial dispute: the sincere person and the hypocrite. Understanding the difference between them is crucial, as it can save you from potential heartbreak and financial loss. The sincere person, maintaining respect through financial conflicts. A sincere person values integrity, mutual respect, and the preservation of relationships above all else. They recognize that financial conflicts, while unpleasant, are a part of life, and they approach these disputes with maturity and a commitment to finding a fair resolution. They view money as a tool to enhance their well-being and the well-being of those they care about, not as an end-all, be-all objective. Respect for the relationship. A sincere person prioritizes the relationship over monetary gains. They understand that no amount of money is worth jeopardizing the bond they share with another person. Even if disagreements arise, they will strive to resolve the issue without resorting to hostility or manipulation. A sincere person doesn't let financial disputes create a rift between themselves and others. They work toward a solution that takes everyone's needs into account, showing understanding and patience throughout the process. Willingness to compromise. A key trait of sincerity is the willingness to compromise. Financial issues often require negotiation, and a sincere person is open to finding a middle ground that satisfies both parties. They are not interested in taking advantage of the situation or pressuring others into unfair deals. Instead, they approach the dispute with empathy, considering the other person's perspective and seeking a solution that benefits both sides. For them, peace of mind and maintaining a healthy relationship are more important than winning a financial argument. Clear communication and transparency. Sincere individuals value clear and honest communication. When financial issues arise, they will make the effort to explain their position clearly and transparently. They are not afraid to discuss their financial limitations, concerns, or expectations, and they welcome open dialogue. This transparency helps in building trust and resolving the conflict in a way that strengthens the relationship rather than undermining it. Emotional stability. Sincere people tend to remain calm and composed. Even when financial disputes become heated, they don't allow emotions like greed, anger, or jealousy to cloud their judgment. Instead, they focus on the facts and are motivated by a desire for a fair resolution. This emotional maturity allows them to handle conflicts with grace and to move past any tension without creating lasting harm to the relationship. The hypocrite person. Hostility and manipulation over money. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the hypocrite. The hypocrite is someone who, under the guise of civility or even friendliness, is willing to exploit financial disputes for their own gain. In such situations, they reveal their true nature, one that is self-serving and often willing to manipulate or even harm others to achieve their financial objectives. Hostility and aggression. When a financial disagreement arises, a hypocrite quickly turns hostile. Their demeanor shifts from amicable to aggressive, especially if they feel that they are not getting what they want. Rather than seeking a fair resolution, they become combative and defensive, resorting to tactics such as blame shifting, guilt tripping, or outright intimidation. The hypocrite's primary goal is to secure an advantage, and they will not hesitate to make the other party feel small or inadequate in order to win the financial dispute. Exploitation and manipulation. A hypocrite is often skilled in manipulation. They will use charm, persuasion, or deceit to get what they want, regardless of the ethical implications. For example, they may present themselves as the victim in the situation, making the other person feel guilty or responsible for their financial struggles. Alternatively, they may promise one thing and then renege on that promise, knowing that the other person will be left with little recourse. These tactics are meant to confuse, disarm, and ultimately lead to a financial advantage for the hypocrite, no matter the cost to others involved. Lack of transparency and deception. Unlike the sincere person who values transparency, a hypocrite often hides information and deceives others. They might conceal the full scope of their financial situation, refuse to share important details, or manipulate facts to make themselves appear more reasonable or entitled. This lack of honesty creates a foundation of mistrust and confusion, making it difficult to resolve the dispute in a way that feels fair or just. Emotional volatility and self-centeredness. Hypocrites often exhibit emotional volatility when it comes to financial matters. They may become irrationally angry or overly dramatic when things don't go their way, using emotional outbursts to distract or control the situation. Their actions are driven by a desire to protect their own interests, with little regard for the impact on others. This self-centeredness prevents them from empathizing with the other party or considering alternative solutions that might require sacrifice on their part. The danger of waiting until you lose money to realize who's real and who's hypocrite. One of the most dangerous aspects of dealing with financial disputes is the tendency to wait until a significant amount of money is lost before realizing the true nature of the people involved. Often, when we find ourselves in these situations, we hope that people will act with fairness and integrity, especially when it comes to matters of money. However, it is essential to recognize that the way someone behaves in the early stages of a dispute can be a clear indication of their true character. The cost of inaction. Failing to recognize the signs of a hypocrite early on can lead to significant financial loss. The longer you allow a person with questionable motives to take advantage of the situation, the more likely it is that they will manipulate you further. In such cases, The damage done to your finances, and even your emotional well-being, can be irreversible. It is crucial to assess the situation critically and not let emotional attachment cloud your judgment when money is involved. Trust is hard to rebuild. Trust is a fragile thing. And once it is broken, it is difficult to rebuild. If you let a hypocrite take advantage of you and your finances, you may find it impossible to restore the relationship to its original state. Even if you try to forgive and move forward, the sense of betrayal can linger, affecting not just your relationship with the person in question but also your ability to trust others in future financial matters. Learning to recognize red flags early. The key to avoiding the damage caused by a hypocrite in a financial dispute is to recognize red flags early. Pay attention to how the person behaves when small issues arise. Do they handle minor disagreements with respect and honesty? Or do they resort to manipulation and hostility? Are they willing to make compromises? Or do they demand things always go their way? These early warning signs can help you make more informed decisions about who you trust with your money and who should be kept at a distance. Conclusion. Protect yourself from hypocrites. In any relationship, money will inevitably come into play. However, it's how people handle those situations that reveal their true nature. The sincere person will treat financial disputes as an opportunity for mutual respect and compromise, ensuring that both parties feel heard and valued. On the other hand, the hypocrite will turn the situation into an emotional battleground, using deceit and manipulation to get what they want at the expense of others. Don't wait until you've lost money or trust to realize who is sincere and who is hypocritical. By being mindful of people's behavior and recognizing red flags early on, you can protect yourself from financial harm and preserve the relationships that truly matter. 8. When you have nothing left to offer. Life is a series of ups and downs. And one of the hardest challenges you may face is the feeling of having nothing left to offer. Whether it's in a personal relationship, a business partnership, or a friendship, there are times when circumstances leave you feeling drained, empty, or without the resources, whether emotional, financial, or physical, to give. It's during these moments that the people around you reveal their true nature. Especially when it comes to how they treat you when you can no longer provide what they once benefited from. There are two kinds of people who will emerge in such times: the sincere person and the hypocrite. Understanding how they react when you have nothing left to offer can provide valuable insights into who truly values you and who is simply taking advantage of what you bring to the table. The sincere person, treating you the same regardless of your circumstances. The hallmark of a sincere person is their ability to treat you with respect and consistency, no matter what you can or cannot provide them. Sincerity is built on deep-rooted values such as honesty, empathy, and genuine care for others. A sincere person doesn't view you as a source of value based solely on what you can offer them at any given moment. But instead, they appreciate you for who you are as an individual. When you reach a point where you feel you have nothing left to offer, they will continue to treat you with the same love, respect, and kindness they always have, unaffected by your circumstances. Unconditional support and loyalty. One of the defining features of a sincere person is their unwavering support for you. Regardless of whether you can offer them anything in return, whether you are struggling financially, emotionally, or in any other way, they stand by your side. Their support is not transactional. They are not waiting for something in return. Instead, they help because they care about you as a person, not because you have something they need. For them, your worth is not defined by what you can give them in the present moment but by the connection and bond that you share. Consistent behavior. A sincere person will treat you the same regardless of your status, wealth, or circumstances. If you were once successful or in a better position to offer something, they did not value you for that reason. And they will not treat you differently when your circumstances change. They will continue to show you the same respect and care they always have. And their loyalty will not waver just because you are no longer in a position to provide what you once did. They are not fair-weather friends who only stick around when things are going well. They are the ones who remain steadfast through thick and thin. Empathy and understanding. When you have nothing left to offer, the sincere person will empathize with your struggles. Instead of seeing you as a burden or becoming frustrated with your inability to give, they will offer emotional support and understanding. They may offer a listening ear, words of encouragement, or help in any way they can. Not because they expect anything in return, but because they genuinely care about your well-being. They understand that everyone goes through hard times, and they will stand by you without judgment. No change in treatment. A sincere person is not motivated by what you can provide for them in material terms. They value you as a whole, and they will not alter their treatment of you based on your current circumstances. Even when you have nothing left to offer, they will continue to offer the same level of respect, kindness, and friendship. The sincere person's treatment of you is not dependent on your ability to reciprocate. It is based on your relationship and their deep, inherent respect for you as an individual. The hypocrite person, growing distant or cutting you off when you have nothing left to offer. In contrast, the hypocrite's response when you have nothing left to offer is often stark and revealing. A hypocrite may initially appear to be supportive or friendly, but this behavior is typically conditional. When you find yourself unable to provide them with what they want, whether it's money, attention, favors, or other resources, they will reveal their true colors. The hypocrite's loyalty and affection are not unconditional. And when you no longer meet their needs or expectations, they may grow distant, avoid you, or, in some cases, completely cut you off. Avoidance and emotional distance. One of the most common signs of a hypocrite is emotional distance. When you have nothing left to offer, a hypocrite will start to emotionally disengage. This may manifest in them becoming less available to you, not responding to your calls or messages, or showing disinterest in your life. They may no longer ask how you're doing or offer any form of support. Their behavior becomes colder, and they no longer seem to care about your well-being. The connection you once shared begins to fray as they slowly withdraw. Sudden silence and ignorance. A hypocrite may also begin to ignore you altogether when they no longer stand to gain anything from you. If you once had a close relationship and they were quick to seek your help or attention, this dynamic can suddenly shift. When you have nothing left to offer, they may no longer reach out or communicate with you, leaving you to wonder what went wrong. Their silence is a powerful indication that their interest in you is largely transactional. And once that transaction is no longer possible, they have no further use for you, cutting you off completely. Perhaps the most painful reaction of a hypocrite when you have nothing left to offer is the complete severing of ties. Once they see that you are no longer useful to them, they may not only become distant, they may actively cut you out of their life altogether. This could mean unfollowing you on social media, blocking your phone number, or simply refusing to engage with you. The hypocrite may justify this behavior by claiming that you are no longer valuable to them or that they are too busy to deal with your problems. But the reality is that they have no interest in supporting you once they can no longer get anything from you. Self-interest over connection. At the heart of a hypocrite's actions is self-interest. They only stick around when they can benefit from the relationship. Once they no longer perceive any advantage, they will abandon you without hesitation. This behavior may not always be overt. Sometimes it can be masked with excuses or pretenses. But it always boils down to the same thing: when you have nothing left to offer, the hypocrite walks away. They do not value the relationship for the sake of the connection. They value it as long as it serves their needs. The reality of losing value in a hypocrite's eyes. The reality of the situation is that when you lose your perceived value to a hypocrite, they will often walk away on their own. They are not invested in you as a person. They are invested in what you can provide. Whether it's emotional support, financial assistance, or social status, a hypocrite's interest in you is inherently tied to what you can offer them. Once they no longer see you as a source of benefit, they will disengage, leaving you to face your struggles alone. This behavior can be painful, especially if you had once thought that the relationship was genuine. You may find yourself blindsided by the sudden disappearance of a person you thought you could rely on, only to realize that their affection was conditional all along. The hypocrite's departure may not be accompanied by any explanation or remorse. They simply move on to someone else from whom they can extract value, leaving you with little more than a painful lesson in the nature of their character. Conclusion. Recognizing the difference between the sincere and the hypocrite. When you have nothing left to offer, it is often the most difficult time to assess the true nature of those around you. However, it is during these moments that the differences between sincere people and hypocrites become most apparent. Sincere people will remain by your side, treating you with respect and loyalty regardless of your circumstances. They will offer support, understanding, and compassion without expecting anything in return. In contrast, hypocrites will withdraw, avoid, or cut you off entirely when you no longer serve their interests, revealing that their affection and loyalty were never genuine to begin with. The harsh reality is that people often show their true colors when they believe they can no longer benefit from you. This is why it is essential to carefully evaluate the relationships you maintain and understand who truly values you for who you are, not just for what you can offer. In the end, true friendship and loyalty are about unconditional support, while hypocrisy thrives on self-interest and manipulation. Recognizing the difference between the two can help you protect yourself from heartbreak and preserve the meaningful relationships that will remain steadfast, even when you have nothing left to offer. Summary: 8 ways to read people. Who is sincere? Who is hypocrite? Understanding the true nature of the people around us is crucial for forming meaningful relationships. The ability to differentiate between sincere individuals and hypocrites can save us from emotional harm and foster genuine connections. In this guide, we've explored 8 key ways to read people and uncover who is truly authentic and who is merely pretending. A sincere person consistently shows respect and empathy in all situations. Whether they are faced with financial disputes, personal crises, or emotional challenges, they remain supportive, humble, and honest, even when their own circumstances are not ideal. A hypocrite, on the other hand, may act friendly when things are going well but reveals their true nature when under stress. Intoxicated, or presented with an opportunity to gain, they are often selfish, manipulative, and disrespectful, showing their real character when they think there's nothing to lose. Key moments, such as when a person is angry, struggling, or drunk, can expose these traits. Sincere individuals maintain control, offer support, and show care regardless of the situation. Hypocrites, however, lash out, become distant, or even kick you when you're down, revealing their lack of genuine concern. In essence, learning to spot these behaviors and understanding how people act in different circumstances is vital for navigating relationships. By paying attention to these subtle yet telling actions, you can surround yourself with people who truly value you and avoid those whose intentions are less than genuine. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. I hope the ideas and knowledge shared have helped expand your perspective and deepen your thinking. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss the next ones. Feel free to leave your thoughts and comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video. Wishing you a wonderful day.